So you're thinking about moving to New York City, huh? 10 out of 10 recommend that you do this if this is something that you're thinking about. I personally did it. I grew up in a tiny border town in Arizona, really, really small, like less than 10,000 people, really tiny town. And I packed my life into three little bags and I moved across the country to New York City. Probably the best decision I ever made in my life, to be quite frank. It's been insanely transformative, it's been challenging, and it's made me grow into an overall more well rounded person. From the culture that's here, which then ties into the amazing food that's here, the people, the music, the, anything that you're into exists here. There's a culture here for whatever you're into. There's a crowd here for whatever you're into. You could have some crazy, obscure niche hobby, and I guarantee you that you'll find your crowd here. It's an amazing place. It's really, really, truly something special. And you can just grow in so many different ways here. But the thing about it is, New York can be very much so like a mirror. Okay? When you move here, this city will very quickly show you who you are. Okay. This can go many different ways depending on your character and your personality and your vices and your habits, the things that you do all the time, okay? Because in a city like New York, you can do anything in excess. This can either build you or burn you to the ground, okay? You know, I've been around a lot of different people in the city while I've been here, and I've seen the way that the city's relationship with everybody is slightly different depending on who they are, what they do, and the way that they decide to live their life. Say you move here and, I've seen people have addictions to substances. I've seen people have issues with lust. I've seen people that are insanely ambitious and work like crazy until they burn out. I've seen people live with beyond their means financially and go broke and end up in a lot of debt. It's the reality of it. This place is full of sharks. The city's expensive. You can make your wildest dreams come true, but you can also live in your own nightmare. It's a crazy place. The polarity of it is just insane. It's like it could be the best place in the world and it can also be the worst place in the world. This city is a city of duality. There's billionaires here, mega skyscrapers, huge buildings. And there's also people doing heroin on the subways. It's extreme highs, extreme lows. This city is insane, but it is very much so a reflection of yourself. So say you're that person in their hometown that wants to move to New York City. You can do it, and I know you can do it. You know why? Because I did it. And if I could do it, you could do it. Anybody could do it. It's just a matter of actually wanting to do it. But the best thing and piece of advice I can give you would basically be prepare to the best of your ability to become the most prepared version of yourself that you could possibly be before moving to New York. Like I said, whatever you're into, whatever your vices are, any of these things, you can go down that rabbit hole to the full extent. But if you're ambitious and you have dreams and you have things that you want to do in this lifetime and you're on your stuff, you're on your path and you're disciplined and you're grinding, or you're painting and you're doing whatever, you're making music, whatever you're doing, and you're doing that at a high level, I highly recommend that you come to this place, because the heights to which you can reach are limitless. Literally, there's a reason why they made that movie Limitless in New York, because you can actually watch him go from living in this dirty apartment, this like rundown apartment. It's a mess, it's filthy, and then he takes the Limitless pill, and within the matter of a month or so, he's closing the major deals with these guys in finance, and he's just absolutely killing it. He goes from living really, really, a really limited life and his dirty apartment, all this stuff, to being in the highest places that you could possibly be, making multi-million-dollar deals close. There's not very many cities that they could make a story like that happen. New York City is the perfect rags to riches place. If you have a dream, come here. You could really make it happen. I don't know if you can move to like some random place in Idaho and do the same thing. You can make your dreams come true, don't get me wrong, but you can do them to a crazy extent in this city. So, highly recommended if this is something that you want to do and you're ambitious and you have stuff that you want to accomplish. If you come out here with no plan, it will still be a great time, but it will very quickly show you where you're at in life. If you have issues saving money, if you have vice addictions, if you have any of these issues, it will be made very apparent in this city. It's just the facts. You can do everything at the highest extent. So iron all those things out before you get here to the best of your ability. We're not perfect. I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. But like I said, this city's a mirror, and it will look back at you, even the parts that you don't want to see. Okay? It's just the reality of it. And it's like anywhere, life is a mirror. Life will show you who you are. Okay? But this place is pretty aggressive, and it can be very unforgiving if you're not on top of your stuff. But don't let that, discourage you from wanting to move here. I think it's an amazing place. Okay? And anybody that has that itch or that, that urge to want to do this, do it, bro. No, people might not tell you this part about it. Everyone wants to sit here and show you some fancy apartment tour or how everything just worked out and all this stuff. No, the reality of this is there's endless sharks in this city. The hunt to find an apartment is just like the craziest thing ever, and especially depending on the time of year that you're doing it, it can be an absolute nightmare, but it is possible. And there's many ways you can go about this, and I'll probably make some more videos, if anybody wants to see what it's like actually getting a place in New York, or where to look, and different ways to do it. There's very traditional ways like the apps, and then there's a bunch of other ways that you could find apartments and stuff online as well, just looking for listings. But yeah, it's not always pretty, and more often than not, there's a lot of people that are sharks out here. I do a lot of work in the Diamond District, and this is notoriously one of the craziest blocks in New York. It's insanely cutthroat. There's sharks on every corner. Not even every corner, it's only one block. There's like 2 corners. But on that entire block, there's just a bunch of sharks. And it makes you stronger. It makes you a little bit more resilient. It makes you a little bit wiser because you're exposed to so much stuff. It's an insanely transformative place, and it's got plenty to offer. So you can do it. I did it. I have plenty of friends that did it. If you're a kid in a small town, or if you're in a big city somewhere else and you want to make this happen, and you've never seen anyone make this happen, just know that people do it all the time. I dropped out of high school when I was 17 years old. I would have never imagined that I'd be living in New York. It was just like beyond my imagination. But through my digital art that I was working on when I was younger and stuff, met some people that were over here, and I realized that it was possible. It was possible for me, and it's also possible for you. But the reality is, this city will show you who you are, just like life will, but New York is a very accelerated, aggressive version of life. So just know it won't be easy, but it will be worth it. And it'll be insanely transformative for you if you decide to take that leap. And on the other end of that side is either your biggest dream come true or the embodiment of your biggest nightmare. This is real life. It's not a video game. Things can happen in an instant. So, get a good head on your shoulders, set some goals, prepare. And I believe that you can make that move to New York and you can make your wildest dreams come true. There's plenty of people that have done it. And I think that you might just be the next one to do it. If you want to do it, bro, hey, man, don't let nobody talk you out of this. New York City is a great place for people that want to make something of themselves. And I truly, truly, truly encourage you to do it if this is something that you're thinking about.